Where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally. Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
you're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
So the reason why this topic is even so heavy on my heart tonight, I was having a conversation in my DMs with my people. One of my followers, somebody that really supports me and got my back with this, just content game and just period, right? And the conversation was basically, she was saying if I could come out to where she is, I think it was Phoenix, to do some community work, because out there during the summertime, obviously, as we all know, Phoenix is hot as hell. So there's a big problem when it comes to homeless rate and like all of these different things. She said, if we can just come out there and do some work, that'd be great. I said, well, what's going on out there? She said, because it's so hot, people are struggling to pay their utility bills, or they homeless. So it's like, it's very hard for them. She said, we're passing out stuff. We're giving out stuff. We're giving out water, we're giving out food and all these different things. She said, but we can't, really get to the root of the problem, and we don't know what else to do. And I said the real root of the problem is that we're trying to put a Band-Aid over a scar that has gotten too big, right? Like homelessness, poverty, all of these different things is such a big issue in our country, in this world, that we try to put Band-Aids over it. And even I was a victim of that, right? And so the first question I guess I would have to answer is, what do I mean by that, and why did I stop doing things that way? Because I'm going to break that down, because for a long time I was that guy where my whole company, that's what we did. That's what we do. We created initiatives and we created programming where we would serve the less fortunate in the youth. That's what I do. But I was thinking about it in a temporary mindset. So I would go out here passing out plates and passing out food and passing out toiletry items and all of these great things. And don't get me wrong, like that's a great thing to do. That's a dope thing. That's a great act of service. But first of all, I feel like a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons. I feel like a lot of people only serve their community and give back to their people to be seen, to take pictures, to brag. And to be honest with you, if you got to brag about this good deed you're doing, is it really a good deed? If only reason you doing it is for recognition and to be seen, is that really a positive thing that you're doing? Because one thing about it, whatever you put into the earth, whatever you put out there is going to come back. And people can tell when it's genuine. If nobody else can tell, God can tell when it's genuine. And I don't even mean to get like that, but that's real, right? So first, and I always mention this, if you're going to serve and give back to your people or anything like that, make sure it's genuine first, period. And so, but the thing is that I woke up one day and I was like, man, I'm done, passing out plates. I'm done giving out backpacks to the kids. I'm done doing these things, not because I didn't love serving my community, not because I didn't love giving back, not because I don't enjoy speaking, none of that type of stuff. It was never because of that. The real reason I felt like I was doing it is because I felt like I was hurting the homeless and the poverty-stricken community more than I was helping them. I was hurting them more than I was helping them, because the thing I realized is that we were never truly getting to the root of the real problem behind the homelessness. We were asking the wrong questions. Instead of us asking, what do you need, right? How can I help? We should have been asking them, how did you get here? What happened in your life that got you to this point where now you're homeless? What got you to this point where you're stuck in poverty? Like, what happened in your life? Some people are born into it. Some people have situations happen in their life that get them to that point, and so many other things. But what happened? And then the other part of that question that we fail to answer, or fail to ask rather, is what can we do to get them out of that? What can we do to get this person out of that poverty? So that's the thing. I felt like, again, we were just putting a Band-Aid over something that needed a lot more than that. They needed some real surgery. We were putting a Band-Aid over an infected area already, and all you're doing is making it even worse. So when you say what's the problem, the problem is that, again, a lot of times these people feel like they're doing this great thing. And again, don't get me wrong, giving back to your people, serving your community, that's a beautiful thing. Giving back to the less fortunate, that's a beautiful thing. Giving back to the youth, giving backpacks away and stuff like that a lot of people do, it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not down in that. I did it for years. I raised thousands of dollars, crowdfunding. I know how to do all of that stuff very well. I'm not judging that, right? If you do that, that's something you enjoy doing for your business or just doing it, period, right? But what about all the other days that those people need us? What about the 364 other days that those individuals are out there homeless and struggling and need resources and need things in their life? Because I feel like even if you said, hey, I'm going to serve these individuals 365 days a year, we still not getting to the true root of the problem, which is, again, how did you get here and how do we get you away from here? And how do we make sure you never have to come back to this situation in your life? Because the thing is that not only are we not getting to the root of the problem, but in a way, we're making them feel like them being in that situation is okay. Like that's normal. Like we're giving them a handout almost in so many ways of saying that you being in this situation and you staying in this situation is okay. It's one thing to get in that situation because sometimes we all get down on our luck, but you shouldn't have to stay there. And I feel like it has to be our job as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as creatives, as people that have been blessed with a platform to help these people get out of that situation. But you can never help those people get out of that situation if all you're doing is crippling them. If all you're doing is solidifying that it's okay for them to stay in that particular part of their life. I just don't agree with that. And so the question now is, okay, so how do we solve that issue? How do we get individuals out of homelessness? How do we get individuals out of the impoverished areas? How do we make sure people never have to go back to that? How do we solve that problem? So a lot of times we say, you give a man a fish, he eat for a day. You teach a man how to fish, he can eat forever. So I think that we need to stop giving these less fortunate individuals and ones that are in impoverished areas, we need to stop giving them fish and start giving them fishing rods. I'm going to say that shit again. We need to stop giving them fish and start giving them fishing rods. Because the thing about it is, in other words, we need to stop giving out the plates. We need to stop giving out the backpacks. We need to stop giving out the free toiletry items. We need to stop doing that. And we need to start giving out jobs. We need to start giving out opportunities. We need to start giving out resources. Right? Like, yeah, I'm still going to give you the toiletry items. I'm still going to give you the backpacks. I'm still going to give you the food. But come work. Come work in my company, and I'm going to pay you $50 a week to come help me with X, Y, and Z. All right. I got a partner that owns so-and-so. Come do some work around the place and clean up the place, and we're going to pay you for this. You see what I'm saying? Because we complain about this issue of how bad it is out here, how so many people are homeless, how the kids are bad as hell. We complain about all these societal issues that we see in our world today. But what are we doing to solve it? Besides putting a big Band-Aid over it, like I've mentioned time and time again. What are we doing to solve it? What are we doing to truly combat that issue? That's the real question. Because I want people to understand, until we stop just putting a Band-Aid over it, until we stop giving these people handouts and actually giving them real opportunities, real job, real resources, all we're doing is adding fuel to the fire and making their problem even worse than what it already is. And so let me give you an example on how we can easily solve this problem. Right? So, for instance, I have a detailing shop, right? When I first created my detail company, what I could have did was I could have easily just went and hired just anybody, right? I could have hired just anybody that wanted a job. But I said, not only am I going to create a business that people need, because everybody wants their car washed. So that's number one. Make sure that you're building a business that people need. That's the point right within itself. Make sure you're building something that people actually need, that people actually value, that people actually want. So that even if another COVID-19 came, your business will still be okay. Right? Like you want your business to be able to still survive no matter what's going on in the world. Need-based businesses. Can't live without businesses. Right? Make sure it's that, because if you're an option, your business is going to be one of the first ones to go as soon as people have to cut back on their spending. Your business is going to be the first ones to be hit when people, when we have another crisis in our world. Right? So first of all, it's building you a need-based business. And then once you build that needs-based business, when I built the company of these details, and I said, I could have just hired anybody. But not only do I want to build a business that customers and consumers need, but I also want to solve a big problem that's in my community of not only people being homeless, but a lot of brown and black people being homeless. So I'm going to focus on, and not only the homeless people, but the youth that are troubled and need somebody positive in their life to be around every day, and they need some money in their pocket. Because the reason why a lot of these people have to steal, kill, rob, the reason why kids end up being so bad a lot of the times is not because they bad or because they want to make these bad decisions, because they ain't got shit. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no opportunities. They ain't got no resources. They ain't been given anything. So what do you expect them to do? They gonna steal. That's the only way to survive. They gonna take because they ain't got no other choice, right? They go sleep on the streets because they have no other choice. But if you give them a choice, if you give them the opportunity, I guarantee we'll see a decrease in everything. We'll see a decrease in crime. We'll see a decrease in teen pregnancies. We'll see a decrease in how many people be fighting and killing each other. Like, we'll see a decrease in all of these areas that we complain about every single day. So I get excited about this. I'm sorry. But first of all, let me go back and say, okay, well, number one, we build a need-based business. And number two, we figure out how we can use this need-based business to solve a societal issue in our world. So again, we're talking about homelessness. How can we solve homelessness through this need-based business? I got it. I'm going to go partner with whatever homeless shelters is in my city. So for instance, here we have a Salvation Army. We have an Our House Foundation. We have any other organization. It may be different ones in your city that focus on the homeless. Or maybe if you want to work with the youth that are troubled, you're going to go deal with troubled youth homes, or you're going to go deal with the Boys and Girls Club. You're going to go deal with the community centers, the nonprofits that work with troubled youth. You're going to partner with those individuals and let them know who you are and saying, hey, this is our goal. This is what we do. We want to partner with you guys and build a funnel system where you send us homeless men or women, you send us youth that are, competent, that want to work, that want a chance to get back on their feet, and they can come through our business, and we're going to hire them to do X, Y, and Z and pay them. When you do that, you just reverse engineer the whole mindset. It went from giving them fish to giving them the fishing rod that quick. And think about it like this. Now that you have these individuals, you've given them a job. So you created a job for somebody. Not just anybody, but somebody that really, really needed it. That's number one. But number two, after you created that job for this individual, now that you're going to slowly but surely teach them about financial literacy, or maybe even find a way to get financial literacy classes taught at that homeless shelter, at that youth home, whatever. Now they know how to save their money, budget their money, whatever the case may be. You just took one more person off the street that was homeless before. Do you see what I'm saying? So number one was, again, we built a need-based business for the people that are just coming in. We built a need-based business first. Number two, we asked ourselves, how can I use my need-based business? How can I use my platform? How can I use what I've been blessed with in order to solve this societal issue? Is it homelessness? Is it the troubled youth? Is it the women? Whatever the case may be. How can we use that? Again, we're talking about how to end homelessness right here today. So we're going to partner with a homeless shelter. We're going to partner with a homeless nonprofit that works with homeless individuals. We're going to partner with a coalition that works with homeless individuals, whatever the case may be. We're going to build a funnel system with those people and saying, hey, please send me individuals that want to work, that are competent, that just got down on their luck for whatever reason. I'm going to give them a job. I'm going to teach them how to manage their money. I'm going to make sure that they're good and that they're going to save up enough money. And hopefully the end goal has to be we getting them off the street. Now we're partnering with housing authorities, getting them housing, right? Now we're moving them to a full-time position where they're working with us every day. Now they're getting a steady paycheck. Like, stop giving these people meals and stop giving these people backpacks and stop giving these people all of these things. Because, again, I'm not saying that's not a great thing to have. I'm not saying that's not a kind gesture. But they need opportunity. They need jobs. They need resources. They need a chance to just get back on their feet. Stop making these people feel like them being down on their luck right now is the right thing. That's okay, because it's not. Nobody should have to live that way. You dig what I'm saying? Like, nobody should have to live that way. So that's how we get to the bottom of it. So that's what I'm doing with every portion of my company, with the detail shop. I only hire youth that are troubled, and I only hire less fortunate ones. I don't hire just anybody. Not because I don't want to just hire anybody, but because I know these are the individuals that need it most. I have a very unique business model. And then what happens is that the consumer sees what our mission is. It sees what the business model is built like. What I call is a give model. It's not a business model because it's not about money. It's about giving. They see how we structured this deal and they love it so much that they're going to support the brand, not just because we wash cars and because we're a need-based business, but because they love what the brand supports. They love what the brand stands for. They love the mission. That's when you know you've truly built a solid brand, when people fall in love with the brand more than they fall in love with what the brand has to offer. What the brand has to offer at that point is just a bonus, right? Like, that's how you have to look at that. That's how you have to think about that. So that's how we solve it. That's how we literally can solve homelessness as a team. We all have a platform. There are so many entrepreneurs. There are so many business owners out here. And then a lot of times the crazy thing is that we don't have a whole lot of money that we can pay people for staff anyway. But we still need our building cleaned, or, we still need some help at certain businesses that we may have. We still may need those tedious things done around whatever business you may have. Right? So if you can find a way to incorporate those individuals into your business model, wherever they can fit, or you have a friend where you can incorporate those people into your business model, wherever they can fit, or you can build a business and use those individuals for your business, wherever they can fit, utilize them. And you'll see how much your brand increases. You'll see how much of a difference you make in your community. And then you will also see that you're helping people decripple themselves. I made that up. They're at that point, they're literally decrippling themselves. And that's big, right? A lot of people don't get that. That's big. So that's how we do that. That's how we solve that issue. Because what a lot of people don't get is that entrepreneurs are the new heroes. We've waited on politicians and presidents and all of these people long enough to solve these societal issues. People still homeless. People are getting more homeless by the day. People still don't have health insurance. People are still getting in poverty, are on the poverty line every single day. There are more and more single mothers out here every single day. There are more and more people out here struggling every single day. So we got to start waiting on these politicians and presidents and local officials to solve our problems, and we have to solve them for ourselves. If you see a chance for you to be a difference in somebody's life, you have to be that difference. If you have a platform where you can be a difference in somebody's life, you have to be that difference. And stop thinking so small that, hey, I'm just going to, like I said, we don't just pass out plates. We're going to pass out blankets. It has to be bigger than that. We have to think bigger than that. Now, I'm not going to lie. Building an infrastructure like that isn't easy. It isn't an overnight thing, right? But if you have the chance to change a person's life with what you've been blessed with, the platform you've been given, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? But that's how we do it. That's how we end homelessness together as people, as entrepreneurs, as creatives. He said, become great by being great. That's a word, Chris. That's how we end homelessness. So again, I'm going to give her a quick recap. First of all, we build the business. Whatever business that is for you, whatever need-based business it is for you, preferably a service. All right. So again, we're going to take my detailing company, for example. That's my business. That's a business that people love. That's a business that people need, because it's mainly women not finna wash their car. Right. They're going to go get somewhere and get it washed. Right. People need stains removed from their seats because they want their car to look good. Like, all of these different things come into effect. So that's my example, right? That's my business. Now I'm saying, okay, I got the business. I'm going to serve my consumers. But what issue do I want to solve for my community? I don't want people to be homeless anymore. I don't want the kids to have to make bad decisions anymore. So I'm going to create the platform for them. I'm going to create the platform for them. And now that I've created the platform for those individuals, where I can give them a job, where I can give them an opportunity, I can give them resources, I can give them the fishing rod and stop giving them just fish. And teach them how to do this for themselves. Put money in their own pockets. Right? Instead of giving them money, they earning their money. Right? They understand the value of that now. That's one less person that has to deal with that issue anymore. That's one less person that's going to be out there committing a crime. There's one less kid that's going to have to do something just out of anger. Like, that's one less thing that we have to worry about now. But that's how we have to look at it. So we literally just came up with the formula to end homelessness in 20 minutes. That's how we do it, man. But we can't do it alone. We got to do it together. Because entrepreneurs are the new superheroes. We are the new people that are going to be that change. But it starts with us. It does. So, yeah, man, I want to take a second. And I want to do some Q&A. Oh, this is a good question from Smashing Gazelle. I'm going to answer that right just a second. Anybody else have any questions? I want y'all to ask your questions now. Anybody that got a question, ask your question now. And I'm finna get ready to answer it. Ask your question now. So she said, do you have resources to help with obtaining capital for startup costs? Do I have resources personally? To be honest with you, every business I ever had, I bootstrapped it. Bootstrapping to mean I started from the ground up and I built it myself. But I think one of the most effective things that you can do is to crowdsource is one, right? So get all your family, friends, close ones, people that do believe in you. If you're fortunate to have those people, we all should have those people in our life. Or we deserve to have those people in our life anyway, right? And we get $100 from each person. You get 10 of those, you got $1,000, right? That should be more than enough to start your business. Or you start a business with super low overhead, right? You keep your overhead low as possible. So you partner with people to cut costs. You barter with people to cut costs. Whatever the case may be. So you find a business with a super low overhead that doesn't cost you a whole lot to get started. Businesses that are $1,000 or less, like the detailing company. That's a business that I can operate. It's not at the highest level, maybe when I first started, but it was a business that I could operate and start with $1,000 or less to get started, because then it's a business that has a high turnover rate, meaning that I can generate cash flow super fast by doing this. I can do 10 washes and make $500 in a day. You dig what I'm saying? So like businesses that have a super low overhead, or businesses that don't have a super high overhead, rather, crowdsourcing is a great thing, right? Or just literally bootstrapping and taking money from your 9-to-5 job and putting it into a separate account and using that money to fund your dream, fund your goal, fund what it is you're trying to do. And those are some of my favorite methods that I use. So those are your resources, is you. And it starts with you, and you build that business up from the ground up. And again, you get to the point where as soon as you have enough capital to hire somebody, and again, that's another beautiful thing about working with individuals that are coming from an impoverished area, or that are coming from a homeless community, that may be inside of a homeless shelter, whatever the case may be, is that they're thankful just to be working. They're thankful just to have money coming in. Right. So you don't have a whole lot of money to pay them, but you do need help in certain areas. You do need your building cleaned, or you do need help with this particular thing that's within their means that they can do. Right. So you're going to give them what you can afford. Right. A reasonable amount. So you're getting the help you need. You're doing a great deed, and you're able to move faster now. That's one less task you have to worry about. So that's the beautiful thing about it. I think. So, yeah, that's what I would say. And that's my 2 cents on it. So, man, I appreciate y'all for stopping in here. That was all I needed. All I wanted to get off my chest. I don't believe in being on here all night just looking. So I love y'all, man. This is finna get ready to go live and put it on my page. And I'm also going to make sure that the audio is going to go up on Z Speaks Podcast. So be sure to click the link in my bio and check out Z Speaks Podcast. All of the great gems on there for you guys. And until next time, love y'all.